Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing well. Guys, those who are new to this channel and are directly landing to this particular video, then there might be something that will not be clear to you. But if you'll see my previous video in Jenkins playlist, then you'll have a brief idea about what we are doing in these kinds of pipelines video. Okay. So guys, in today's video, we'll see how we can control our pipeline using Jenkins conditions. So this video is going to be very interesting video because this is a very useful example, and this feature that we are going to discuss in today's video we can implement in our Jenkins declarative pipeline. And any of your project or any example, any demo that you want to get create, then you can use these kinds of conditions and you can control your pipeline execution using these conditions. So guys, let's start our today's video. Okay guys, so the screen that you are seeing in front of you is basically the conditions that we're going to use in our pipeline. So what you can see here, like we have first option is as action option. So this action is basically a condition that we can use in our pipeline, and the value of this particular action we can either use it as a install option or uninstall option. And second option you can see as a software. So here we can also select what kind of software we want to install using our pipeline. And in the third section we have confirmation section, so we can either select yes or no. So once we'll do a practical demo, then I'll show you how we can create these kind of parameters and how we can use these parameters in our pipeline so that we can control our pipeline execution. Just like if you want to install one software but the pipeline code is written to install multiple software, so we can control the behavior of installing only one particular software. We don't need to install all the software in the pipeline, because by default the behavior of the pipeline is that if we start building pipeline, then it will execute all the stages in a particular sequence. So now we don't want all the stages to execute in sequence, rather we want to execute a particular stage according to the options. So in direct way we can say that we are just controlling our pipeline using some conditions. So how we can create these particular parameters, that I'll show you once we'll do practical demo. So let's wait for some time. Let's discuss some theory session here. So this is not going to be very big, but it is very important so that we'll be aware that what we are going to do in today's video. So we'll create one particular parameter as action parameter whose value will remain install and uninstall, and we'll use a software section where we'll use two values, one for Maven, one for Tomcat, and confirmation values either yes or no. So I have just taken this example. You can increase the number of softwares or you can make parameters according to your choice, but as of now in order to show a demo I have used these three parameters, and I'll show you how we can control our pipeline using these parameters and where we can declare these parameters so that our pipeline should take care of these parameters that we are going to instruct during building of pipeline. So the code that I'm showing here, so guys, those who are new, as I told you earlier in my video, so they might be getting some confusion, what is this code, as this code is very complex or something. So if you are new, just go to my previous video in Jenkins playlist. There you'll see complete creation of this particular pipeline, along which what exactly we are doing with this pipeline. So everything is in detail, so just go to those videos and check those videos. But those who are aware about my previous videos, they can continue with this particular pipeline section, because I'm using similar kind of code in this pipeline also, but I'll apply condition here so that my pipeline will execute according to the provided condition. So here the pipeline code is very similar. As you can see that we have pipeline section, then we have stages section. Inside stages we have stage, that is a checkout stage, and then we have write step related to checkout. So this step I also told in my previous video, that how we can generate this particular step using that pipeline syntax generator section. So that is already covered. So those who are new, they can check those video and can get this kind of code, and rest you just continue with this video. And in this stage, the checkout stage, you are seeing that I haven't applied any condition here, because checkout will never be on condition basis. Whenever we'll execute pipeline, every time we need to check out code from repository. So developers write code on repository. So whenever we execute pipeline, first of all, we need to get all those code checked out to our machine so that we can work with the latest code. So in this particular checkout code stage, I haven't placed any condition as of now. And when we'll go to the next stage, here I have just used a condition, and that I'll show you how I have used this condition. So there is this stage is basically called a Maven build tool installation stage. So here we need to place this when block, and this block has to come before steps block, and we need to start this block with this curly brace and end with curly brace. Inside this we can have this expression block. Inside this expression block we can close it inside these curly braces, and inside these curly braces we can write our condition. So condition will be like that. We need to write params as it is. And if you'll see our previous slide, so in this slide what we were having, the name is the action one and its value is install. Name is software, its value is Maven, and the name is confirm and its value is yes. So similar way we need to place condition like params dot action is equals to single quotes install, and if we want to execute two conditions at the same time, we need to put this and operator in between, and then we need to use params dot software and then equals to then Maven. And this is particularly the software that we need to specify here. And if we want to also engage the third condition in between, then we need to use this ampersand in between, and then can use params dot confirm equals to yes. So this params will remains constant every time. Whenever you will create a condition, the value and its name of the parameter will get changed, so that we can place according to our need. So in this way we'll control this pipeline. How? Suppose if we'll go to that build section and we'll select the param action as install, and if we'll select the software as Maven, and if we'll do a confirmation yes, and if we'll just trigger the pipeline, then only this section of the pipeline will get execute, and rest all section of pipeline will not get execute because condition is not meeting. Okay, so in this way we can only use this particular stage from the pipeline. And suppose if we want to install Tomcat, so we have two conditions, one for Tomcat prerequisite installation and one for Tomcat installation stage. So here also we have defined one condition, and in this condition the installation piece remains same as it was previous, but in case of software we'll write the name of the software that we want to get installed using this condition, and confirmation will remain yes. So in this way, when we'll select Tomcat as a software with install and yes parameter, then this particular stage will execute first, and in the next stage also we want to install Tomcat, so next stage also will having the same condition. So these two condition will get fulfilled, and these two condition will get execute. So firstly our Tomcat prerequisite will install, and then it will install our Tomcat server. So in this way we can control our pipeline using parameters. Let's go to next slide. So here in this particular slide you can see I have added two new stages which were not there in my previous what we can say in my previous video. It was not there, but I have added these two stages. So these two stages are basically for uninstalling of Maven build and uninstalling of Tomcat server. So here you can see that condition is exactly same, just only action parameter we need to change as uninstall software Maven and confirmation yes. So it will come to this particular stage and it will not touch any other stage. So you can see now this is the beauty that we are now controlling our pipeline, because the default behavior of pipeline is that if we execute it, it will execute all the stages step by step, one after another. But now our use case is different. We don't want to execute complete pipeline. We want to create a dynamic pipeline so that according to our command that pipeline should get controlled. So in the next stage you can also see that if we want to uninstall the Tomcat server, we just need to select an action uninstall, select the software as Tomcat software and confirmation as yes, and then we can place the commands in order to remove the particular software. Okay, so these things I have added new to my this pipeline, and there was this code in the last post section code that I'll cover later in some of my videos. As of now it is not required, so I have just commented out by using this double forward slashes. So this is basically the way how we can control our pipeline, and when we'll see the practical demo, then it will give a better idea how we are controlling this pipeline and whether these parameters actually works or not. Okay, so guys, let's do a practical demo of this particular pipeline where I'll create a new pipeline and then I'll create those parameters. I'll show you how we can create those parameters and then we'll execute pipeline. So let's see our practical demo. Okay guys, so this is our Jenkins dashboard. As now we are aware how we can install Jenkins and everything. So we are now getting logged in into our Jenkins console. Okay, so this is our Jenkins console. Let's go to new item, and here just create any job that you want. Any name you can give. I usually use test, so I'll continue with this test job, and then we'll select this pipeline and we'll click on OK. Okay, so now in this section we need to firstly go to this particular parameter, that this project is parameterized. We need to select this option, and here we can select the parameter. So we'll go with choice parameter. So in choice parameter, the name we can give similar name that I was discussing in our slide. So I'll give the name as action, and its value will be install and uninstall. Okay, so install and uninstall, this will be the value. And description, you can write any description like uh, please select action install or uninstall. Okay, any description you can give, so that anyone who is going to use a pipeline just get aware that what we are going to do with this particular parameter. So name is action, choices is install and or uninstall, and then description we can give any description. So second, we can go to add parameters. We can select choice parameter, and here we can give the second name as software, sorry, software. Okay, and in the choices we can give as Maven and then Tomcat. I'm using 2. You are not bounded to 2. You can go for 10, or you can go any number of choices that you want to take it. You can take it, but for today's example, I'm using 2 softwares that will execute according to the condition. So it is done. In description, we can write please select software to install or uninstall. Okay, and software section you can give name of the software, Maven oblique Tomcat. Okay, so second choice parameter is also done. Now we can go to add parameter, we can go to choice parameter, and here we can go for confirm. Here we can give with 2 parameters, yes or no. So now we are done with the parameters. So here we can give some description like please confirm yes or no. Any description you can give here. So in this way, now our choice parameters are done. We can go to the pipeline section now, scroll down, and here we have this pipeline section. So the code that I was discussing in slide, I have just keep the complete code here. So what is this complete code? There are multiple stages in this code. So first stage is just to do the checkout, which is independent of any kind of condition. Second is to install Maven, which is having a condition, and having steps to install Maven, which is basically a tar that it will get download from internet, and then it will do an untar of this particular tar. And next stage we have just Tomcat prerequisite installation, because if you want to install Tomcat software, then a prerequisite should get installed first, and then we'll install Tomcat actual server. So the condition is same for both, because when this particular condition will met, then only these two stages will get execute. So this stage is having prerequisite related commands, and this stage is having commands related to Apache installation. Then we have two further stages, one for install Maven build tool, and second for install Apache Tomcat server. So here we have condition related to uninstallation of Maven, and here we have condition related to installation of Apache Tomcat server. So this example is not very complex, or we cannot say that it's a very big example or something. So we can understand it that this is particular code that will behave according to our command. So let's copy this particular code and paste in the pipeline section. Okay, so our code is here now. Okay, so we are done. Save this code. And one change that you can see in this particular video, because in all previous video we were seeing one build now button at this place, but now you are seeing that we are having one option of build with parameters, because this job is parameterized. So build now will not be here, it will get changed to build with parameters. So just click on it, and now you are seeing that same parameters that we have created over there, we are seeing same parameters here. So let's do one thing, let's install Maven first. So in install and uninstall we'll select install, and in software we'll select Maven, and in confirmation we'll select yes, and we'll click on build button. So let's see what will happen, because there are multiple stages. So what all stage get execute, let's see. So checkout is the stage that I told you we haven't provided any condition. So in any case checkout will always be happen. So now you are seeing that checkout is getting done, after that only installation piece is done, and rest all stages are great. So these all stages are not getting executing because of the condition, and only Maven get installed in this particular condition. So Maven, let's go to this particular, okay, let's go to logs so that we can get where we are getting these binary installed. So running Jenkins and varlib Jenkins test. So let's go to this directory, copy, and here you can see that it was getting download the binaries of Maven, and then it was doing an uninstallation of those particular tar. And after that you are seeing that this particular stage is skipped due to when condition. This stage is skipped due to when condition. Uninstallation skipped due to when condition. So now you can see that now we are controlling this pipeline with the help of conditions. So if we'll go to this particular directory, so here we'll see that you can see that your Maven tar has been came here, and you have this Maven untar piece here, because tar and gz is removed from this particular folder. Okay, so this is done. Now let's go to our pipeline, and we'll go for build parameters. Now we'll install Tomcat. So let's select Tomcat, and action is install. We need to install Tomcat, and confirmation is yes. Click on it. So let's see which stage will get execute as of now. So checkout, it's mandatory. So every time checkout will get execute. Now it has skipped this install Maven build stage. Prerequisite is required. So it is installing this prerequisite stage. And now it is installing Apache Tomcat server. Okay, so Apache is installing. So let's wait for some time. Okay, it is taking some time. So let's see logs, what logs are saying, why it is taking so much time. Okay, so we can see it is successful. So if we'll go to this stage, okay, it took around 49 seconds, and this particular stage is also successfully executed, and it is green. So now you can see that checkout is done because we haven't placed any condition, and it skipped out this Maven build stage. It executed prerequisite stage, then it executed Tomcat server stage, and it skipped out the uninstallation of your Maven build tool and uninstallation of Apache Tomcat server. Okay, so it has installed Apache. So let's check whether Apache has been installed or not. So we'll use this IP, and I have opened all the ports from networking section for 8081 port. So I'm not opening it as of now. We can directly access Tomcat. So now you can see that Tomcat has been successfully installed. Okay, so in this way we have installed two software, and on condition basis we have installed these software. So now go and uninstall one by one, so that we'll be aware that whether other options are working or not. Uninstalling Maven, confirmation yes. So now let's see which stage is getting executed. Okay, so now you can see that checkout will be done every time, so we'll not take we'll not be concerned about this stage. But now you are seeing it is uninstalling your Maven build tool, so it means that our code is working fine, and it is also deleting the things according to the condition. And now let's go to build with parameters, go for uninstall, select software Tomcat and confirmation yes. So now it should go to the last stage only along with checkout code, because so you can see checkout is done, and now it is going to Apache Tomcat server. So let's refresh this page and see whether Tomcat is there or not. So yes, you can see that Tomcat has been uninstalled. So guys, this was a very good example that we can implement in our live projects, or whatever you are doing, because in this way we can control our pipeline, just like we can have a parameter, like suppose you can have environment parameter where we can have dev, QA and prod, these kinds of settings over here. Usually we don't perform these kinds of pipeline by using CICD directly in the production. Usually we have some manual process, usually in case of projects, but in case of dev we mostly execute these pipeline. So suppose if you place one environment tab here and you give parameters like QA and dev, and if anybody select dev, then only this pipeline get executed. If anybody is selecting QA, we don't want to get it execute by using QA parameter, so we can have that parameter and we can set conditions according to that. So in this way we can control our pipeline according to the parameters what we select from here, and pipeline will get controlled using these parameters. So guys, I'm done with today's video. I hope you like this video, and please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.